This week I had a revelation that I want to share with you, because I was looking for ways to improve how I pose my characters, and I suddenly found something called the triangle rule. But I didn't find it in an art book, I found it in modeling YouTube. And it turns out that the solution to all my posing problems with my characters had been in the hands of models and photographers for years. But what do they know that I don't? So, this is something that I didn't know that a lot of photographers ask the models to do. This rule says that in order to make poses interesting, you have to make triangles with your legs, arms, and body. And you may not have noticed this, but when you're looking for photos to use as reference, you will be drawn to photos that obey this rule. This is more interesting than this one, and this one is more interesting than this one. So when you want to solve a problem with your pose, draw a triangle. But how? Well, you have initially two choices. There are more triangles that we can use. We're going to talk about them later, but we're going to focus first on two. Triangles can be part of the body themselves, like an arm or a leg, or it can be the negative space, the space between the body parts. It may not look like it, but our brains are creating these triangles when looking at poses like this one, for example. Obviously, some triangles are easy to find than others, but they are still there. But how do you choose which triangle do you want to use? Well, the objective is to have the pose be as readable as possible. You need to be able to understand the pose that you're drawing in an instant. Did you understand it? Did you understand that one? The solution is in something that animators study and do a lot. They are experts in this, and what they do is focus on silhouettes. A readable pose means a readable silhouette. It doesn't matter the complexity or the angle of the pose. Does it mean that you have to draw a silhouette and then go from there? No. But when you're trying to figure out where to put an arm or a leg, just ask yourself, would I understand this if it was just a silhouette? I'd love for you to show me how you practice all of this by joining the Discord in the description. You will make new friends and I'll give you some feedback too. But now you might have a new challenge, because this might lead you to just draw every character that you make with open arms and legs. I mean, this is readable, right? Well, it is, but there's also a very simple way which you can tell which triangle you need if you want natural, readable poses without just doing very basic perspectives. You want to start with the hands and feet. Think of drawing hands and feet as you think with your actual hands and feet. You're not thinking where you want your elbow to be when you're moving your arms. You just think where you want the hand to be and let the rest solve itself. So here's the same thing. Start with the hand. So now that you have a hand and a body, you get to choose which triangle makes this easy and natural. So don't do this. And of course, keep your triangle within proportion. Sometimes the triangle will be designed by the limb itself, and sometimes by the space between the body parts. But this might not be enough, because the body is still stiff. But the body bends, and that leaves you more space to create triangles. Sometimes you want the arm to be straight, but the torso can create an interesting negative space triangle. And this is all good for poses from this straight angle, but what about foreshortening? What about more dynamic poses? See, I've been hiding the answer to this in plain sight. I've been hiding the final triangle. One you've been looking at, but you haven't realized yet. Because the final triangle is the pose itself. See? Triangles within triangles. And even with natural straight poses, you can find triangles to work on, just bigger ones. And when using foreshortened angles, most of the time you will find that the pose that you're drawing fits comfortably inside a triangle as well. So whenever you feel like your pose is a little stiff, just ask yourself, what triangle do I need? But you've been seeing my drawings and you've probably been asking, what is this line that she's been making at the beginning of the drawings? Well, if you don't know, I recommend that you watch the next video, because you will love what I'm about to show you. And you can watch it right here.